All right, so picture this. You've spent, man, decades collecting rent, dealing with clogged drains, playing peacemaker, and then it happens. The big day. The check clears, the park is officially sold. For most people, that's where the credits roll, right? End of the story. Well, today we're going to talk about why that's not just wrong, it's not even close.
Yeah, what if it's just Act 2? See, we're going to get into what happens after that wire transfer hits your bank account. And let me tell you, this isn't about sitting back and winding down. No way. This is about leveling up. We're talking about how you turn that one big sale into a real legacy, a whole new way of life, and yeah, maybe even become a legend.
Okay, so let's start with the first thing that hits you right after the deal closes. And it's almost never what you think it's going to be. It's not some huge celebration, it's silence, a void. I mean, think about it. The phone stops ringing. No more calls about leaky pipes at 2 a.m. No more chasing down rent checks first thing Monday morning. And at first, man, that silence feels like pure, unadulterated freedom. But then, something funny happens. For a lot of folks, that quiet starts to feel empty, like a loss. Because you realize you didn't just sell a piece of land, you sold your entire routine, your daily rhythm. In a way, you sold your purpose. And this quote, this just nails it. The hardest part isn't letting go of the property itself, it's letting go of the purpose that came with it. So you see, the first real step in this whole new chapter, it's not about what to do with the money. Not yet. It's about figuring out your new identity. You have to answer that big question. Who are you now that you're not the park owner? All right, so once you've wrestled with that identity question and you're feeling a bit more grounded, then it's time to get strategic. Let's talk about the money. It's time to put that capital to work. And here's a huge mindset shift for you. That big number sitting in your bank account, it's not a trophy. You don't just put it up on a shelf to admire it. No, it's raw material. It's like a pile of lumber and a set of blueprints for whatever you want to build next. The smartest sellers, they understand this. They don't just let it sit there collecting dust, they put it right back to work. So how do you do that? Well, let's look at 3 really powerful ways. First, seller carry notes. You can literally keep earning interest on your own deal, on the very property you know like the back of your hand. Second, private lending. You get to become the bank. You fund other investors and you get great returns without ever having to deal with a single tenant again. Can you imagine? And third, preferred equity. Instead of managing one whole park, you own small slices of a bunch of different parks. You've spent years in the muck fixing the pipes. Now you get to be the one who finances them. And that's the real key, isn't it? People call it passive income, but that's not really what it is. This isn't luck. You're not just sitting by the mailbox waiting for checks to roll in. Nope. Every single dollar of this new income, it's a direct payment for all those decades of active, hard-won wisdom you earned down in the trenches. Which brings us to, honestly, the most important part of this whole thing. Because the most valuable asset you have left, it's not the cash, not by a long shot. It's the experience. It's all that knowledge in your head. And now, it's time to monetize it. Think about it. Every mistake you made, every tough lesson you learned, that's now a strategy you can teach. Every one of those crazy late-night phone calls, that's a curriculum. I mean, every single time you were out there patching a sewer line in the freezing cold in the middle of February, that is a masterclass. That's a story the next generation of park owners would literally pay to hear. Your experience is now your single most valuable product. And here's exactly how you package that up and sell it. You can consult, maybe even for the very people who bought your park. You can coach up-and-coming investors who are desperate to follow your path. You can partner on new deals where you bring the gray hair and the wisdom, and they bring the energy. You can teach. You have the street smarts, the real-world truth, and trust me, the next generation is starving for it. It's so true. You can hang up your work boots and retire from the day-to-day grind of the park, but you can never retire from your wisdom, your value, your real purpose. It's not tied to that plot of land anymore. You've just traded one asset, the property, for a much more powerful one, your experience. Okay, so let's recap. You've got your capital working for you. You've got your wisdom generating income. Now we zoom out. We get to the really big picture stuff, turning all this from just a portfolio into a real lasting legacy. And this is a distinction that makes all the difference in the world. Look, anyone can leave an inheritance, a pile of cash. And sure, that'll pay the bills, for a little while, for one generation maybe. But when you build a structure, like a trust, you're not just giving money, you're teaching financial discipline.
You're creating a framework, a system that can last for generations to come.
And let's be super clear about this. This isn't about finding some sneaky tax shelter. This isn't about hiding money. Setting up a family LLC or a trust is a fundamental act of stewardship. It's about taking responsibility. You worked way too hard to build this wealth just to see it vanish by the time your grandkids are around. This is how you prevent that.
All right, this brings us to the final stage. And honestly, this is the most exciting part of the whole journey. Your money is working, your legacy is structured, so now you get to be the architect of your next great mission.
Remember that identity shift we talked about at the beginning? This is it. This is the payoff. You've spent decades down in the trenches with the mud on your boots, fixing problems day in and day out. Now, you get to be the architect. You're designing the future from 30,000 feet. You get to become the capital partner, the mentor that you always wished you had when you were starting out.
So I want you to ask yourself this, and really think about it. What if your name could still be building roofs over people's heads long after you've stopped working under them yourself? I mean, through legacy investing, by sponsoring the next generation of operators, by investing in things like affordable housing funds, your impact just keeps going. Your name stops being just your name, and it starts to become synonymous with building communities.
So you see, when you look at it this way, when you follow this kind of path, you don't actually retire from this business. You graduate. It's a graduation to a whole new level, a higher level of influence, of strategy, of impact. All of it built on that rock-solid foundation of everything you learned along the way. And when the communities you helped build outlive you and the wealth you created multiplies far beyond what you could have imagined, that's when you become what every single operator secretly dreams of becoming. You become a legend. Because at the end of the day, the best ROI, the greatest return on investment you can ever get, isn't just about the money. It's about being remembered. Remembered not just for the park you sold, but for the people you helped build up and the legacy you so carefully designed. Going from a trailer park to a trust fund, that doesn't happen by accident. That, my friends, is a strategy.